So with this hair and this makeup, I didn't watch Mad Men, kill me now, I know, but is anybody else getting very, very, very slight Betty Draper vibes? Okay, I'm not January Jones, but one can hope. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and this is going to be a fairly simple, short, and sweet video. It is all going to be cleanser recommendations. I put up a video about cleansers 101, wash your filthy face, why do we cleanse our face, what does it do, what kind of benefits does it have, etc., etc. And that video was kind of a little long just on its own, so I didn't really have time, and I didn't want to add to the length of it by doing product recommendations. So I decided to just do a standalone video of product recommendations for cleansers, specifically for cleansers, and wanted to give you a few picks that some of which I have personal experience with. Others are ones that I have seen recommended over and over, and with some cross-reference, with some expert advice. I think those are good options as well. And if you want to get a foundation for why we use cleanser and why it's important to clean our face and all of that info, shameless self-promotion number one, you can go check out the video that I'm going to link up here, and that will be Cleansers 101, Wash Your Filthy Face. Yes, it is important to cleanse your skin. And I wanted to give you some specific product recommendations simply because it is overwhelming. There are so many products out there, so many different brands and places to buy them and price points and all of that. It can get really overwhelming. And in all of my years of washing my face, I have discovered some cleansers that I really like, and I have learned somewhat about what to look for in a good cleanser and some ground rules for cleansing. I prefer fragrance-free, but with cleanser, since it's being rinsed off, I am not as hardcore about that fragrance-free idea because you're rinsing it off, so it's not going to sit on your face. I am way more strict about that with things like moisturizers and serums and things that are going to be sitting on my face. So I do relax that rule a little bit. So a few of the things I recommend will have some fragrance in them. If fragrance bothers you, if you have a sensitivity to it, there are plenty of fragrance-free options out there that will be good options for you if you have to avoid fragrance entirely. And I totally understand why you might need to. And also another caveat is that I do not have dry skin. I have, just for the purposes of knowledge and FYI, I have mostly oily skin, and it's aging. I am 48 years old, and I have the typical aging that you're going to see on a 48-year-old person. So I also have a little bit of redness from a mild case of rosacea. So I have oily skin that I would consider maybe slightly sensitive, and it's aging. That matters somewhat, but with cleansers, I think what it really comes down to is choose a gentle, simple face cleanser that is going to take off your makeup, or use a system where you're taking off your makeup, breaking down your makeup first, and then washing your face, and that is what I do. So I'm going to start off with some recommendations for some oils and some makeup removers that will help break down the makeup first if you're wearing makeup before you wash your face. I personally don't want to use my face wash to break down my makeup. I like to break it down, take off that first layer of makeup, and then go in and clean my skin. So let's start off with some of those makeup removers and sort of break down the makeup. And the first recommendation I have is just plain old coconut oil. That is what I use as basically my first step of my double cleanse, is what they call it. I use the coconut oil to break down makeup, especially when I'm wearing waterproof mascara. And I often wear waterproof mascara because my eyelashes don't stay curled otherwise. So the coconut oil I find is really great. It has great slip, so it doesn't tug on my skin. It doesn't cause my skin to crinkle up or anything. I also don't have any issues with the coconut oil. I know some people do have sensitivities to it. If you do, of course, don't use it. I've heard of people using olive oil. I have used olive oil at times. I just don't find that it is as effective as the coconut oil. So that's the only thing there. Now, if you don't want to use something like coconut oil or olive oil, of course, there are lots of commercially available eye makeup removers and other makeup removers. So let me give you some ideas for those. And just so you know, I will be referring to my computer over here. I use my phone to film, so I can't use my phone to look at stuff, so I'm going to be referring to my computer. So if I look off to the side, that is what I'm looking at. So as far as a couple of good options for eye makeup removers, specifically the L'Oreal Clean Artiste waterproof and long wearing eye makeup remover, that's quite a mouthful, is recommended for those of you who are wearing things like waterproof mascara and other long wearing eye makeup. So, and I have used L'Oreal makeup removers in the past and I've had really good success with them. One caveat with that, as far as I'm concerned, is I prefer to buy from cruelty-free companies. So L'Oreal is not cruelty-free. Just keep that in mind if that is important to you as well. Also, if you are looking for something cruelty-free, the First Aid Beauty Pure Skin Conditioning Eye Makeup Remover is another recommended item. I have not personally used it, but I have used other First Aid Beauty products and I've been very pleased with them. I think they are good, they are cruelty-free, and a lot of their products are well recommended and well rated by consumers and also by experts. So it's another good one. Also, the Garnier Skin Active Micellar Eye Makeup Remover Pads. Micellar water overall is a great makeup remover. That is also part of my cleansing routine. After I use the coconut oil to break down my makeup, I soak a cotton pad in micellar water, and I use that to actually take off the oil and the makeup. And as far as micellar water that I use Pacifica. I am using the, it's the crystal micellar water. Pretty much any of their micellar waters are good. They all have fragrance, but since I'm washing them off, I am not too terribly concerned with them. I actually think I'm going to be going back to the coconut water one. The crystal one is okay, but it has a little more of a fragrance. The coconut one doesn't have as strong of a fragrance, and I think it doesn't cause issues for me. I think sometimes the crystal one kind of feels like maybe it's stinging my eyes just a little bit. It's not terrible. And again, I'm going to be washing it off with my face cleanser, so there you go. So just a little thing there. Now, Pacifica is cruelty-free and vegan, so that's a great alternative for those of you who are cruelty-free and vegan. It's also available at Ulta and Target and maybe available at some other places, in addition to the Pacifica website, so it's very widely available and it's pretty affordable. So those are micellar waters that I would recommend. The Garnier micellar waters typically are very well recommended, and Bioderma, which is kind of the granddaddy of micellar waters, it was the original one, is also highly recommended. I have not used Bioderma or Garnier. I know that Garnier is not cruelty-free, not sure about Bioderma, but both of them are highly recommended among people who use them. And then if you are looking for a cleansing balm, which are those oily, textured cleansers or makeup removers, that I have used the Boots Botanics one, which I liked pretty well. It does have fragrance to it, but again, you're washing it off, so not too horribly concerned with that. I'm sort of iffy as to whether Boots is cruelty-free or not, but I have used that before. I liked it. Another cleansing balm that is highly recommended is the Clinique Take the Day Off cleansing balm, and also the Eve L'Homme cleanser, which is, I believe, a cleansing balm texture product. The Eve L'Homme is pretty expensive, so just keep that in mind if you're interested in using it. I have not used Eve L'Homme. I think it may have some fragrance to it as well, maybe some fragrant oils in it. I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to take a deeper look. But overall, it seems to have pretty good recommendations. So that's another good option, albeit expensive. And that's pretty much it for the makeup removers, cleansing balms, oily cleansers. If you are interested in a cleansing oil specifically, I have used the Julep cleansing oil, which I very much enjoyed. And a couple others that are well recommended are the Garnier Clean and Nourishing cleansing oil and the Tatcha Pure One Step Camellia cleansing oil. Both of those are well recommended. The Tatcha one is a little bit expensive. Tatcha is a little pricey, and it's available at Sephora. So just keep that in mind. It's a little bit pricey. I prefer to keep to less expensive cleansers and cleaner type things because you're just rinsing them off, and I don't see the point of spending a lot of money on that particular step. I'd rather spend the money on things that for me are going to bring more benefits, like serums, moisturizers, etc. Now, if you're looking for cleansers for oily skin, this is where I have personal experience. My favorite currently for evening cleansing is the Trader Joe's Nourish facial cleanser. That one is a basic, simple cleanser. A few years ago when I went to a dermatologist, I told her that's what I was using, and she was very pleased with that because, as she said, it was a basic, simple, plain Jane type of cleanser. Cleansers are being rinsed off down the drain, so I don't see the point of having lots and lots of skincare ingredients in it. That's just me. I know some cleansers do have skincare ingredients. You can decide whether that's important to you or not. My personal thoughts on that is it's being rinsed down the drain, so I'm not going to make a big deal about having skincare ingredients in it. I'm going to look for those in the stuff that's actually going to be sitting on my skin. So I really like the Trader Joe's. I also like the Pacifica cleansers for the morning. I don't use those in the evening. I use those in the morning. I'm currently using the Crystal Foam Sparkling Clean Face Wash. I like it. It does smell of watermelon, but it's not a really strong smell. It's not a Jolly Rancher watermelon smell. It actually smells like real watermelon. So it does have fragrance. I've also used the coconut milk cleanser, and I've really enjoyed that. I may be going back to the coconut milk cleanser because I really liked that one. So those are two I've had personal experience with. In years past, I have used the Purpose face cleanser, which is one of those that's sort of a clear, sort of yellowish color, which is another good, basic, simple face cleanser. It is not cruelty-free, but I have used that in the past and I really liked it. Also, a very highly recommended, if you're willing to spend the money, is the Tatcha, the Deep Cleanse. The one caveat about that is it does have fragrance, but if that isn't something that you're terribly sensitive to, you're washing it off, so it may not cause a lot of issues if you don't have a sensitivity to it. And it's expensive. Tatcha is expensive. It's a luxurious skincare brand. I've not personally used it partly because of the expense, but a lot of their products do come highly recommended. Also, for oily skin, the Garnier Skin Active Micellar Foaming Gel Cleanser comes highly recommended. And also I have personal experience with the Drunk Elephant Besta, B-E-S-T-E number 9 cleanser. Bestie or Besta, or Best. Drunk Elephant is very expensive. I got that as a little sample with the birthday gift at Sephora this year. And I really liked it. It was a great morning cleanser. It was fragrance free. It was very gentle. It didn't leave my skin feeling stripped, but it did leave it feeling clean, and I want that balance between feeling clean but not too clean, if you know what I'm talking about. I really like that, but Drunk Elephant is an expensive skincare brand. I just can't see spending that much money on a face cleanser that I'm washing down the drain. But I did like it, so if it's something that you're willing to spend money on, that one is a really good one. Also, the CeraVe Foaming Cleanser. I think I have used that in years past. It's a very good cleanser, comes highly recommended. CeraVe unfortunately tests on animals. And also the Neutrogena Fresh Foaming Cleanser comes highly recommended. And the Clean and Clear Daily Pore Cleanser Oil-Free is another highly recommended one. Unfortunately, all of those brands are not cruelty-free. And you have to be careful, especially with Neutrogena. They have lots of different cleansers, and some of them do have fragrances and are more harsh. So be careful about choosing which one of those you want to use. Make sure you're checking ingredients if you're looking for a cleanser other than the one that I mentioned. And I am going to have all of these linked down below, just so you know. In addition, the First Aid Beauty Skin Rescue Acne Clearing Charcoal Cleanser comes highly recommended. And another, finally, one that I've had personal experience with and really liked was the Paula's Choice Resist Perfectly Balanced Foaming Cleanser. That was another one that I used in the morning. I really liked it. It is a little bit more expensive. Paula's Choice products are sort of mid-price range is what I would consider them. They're not really inexpensive. They're not drugstore inexpensive although some drugstore products are getting up there in price. But they're not like luxury level. They're not Drunk Elephant or Tatcha. But they are a little more expensive, and you do have to order them via mail, so you can't buy them in stores, at least at this point in time. But I did really like that Resist cleanser. I'm thinking about trying it again. I got a little sort of like travel size bottle, and that thing lasted longer than I thought it was going to last. And I did use it in the morning. I don't know that I ever tried it in the evening. I wasn't sure it was going to be quite enough for evening cleansing because I'm taking off oil and dirt and makeup and all that, but really, really liked it for the morning. Now for dry skin cleansers, and I'm going to give you a big old caveat with these. I don't have dry skin, so these are all from articles that I have found and then cross-referencing that with expert advice and advice from people who know about ingredients and all of that and know way more about that than I do. So these are all ones that pretty much I don't have personal experience with, but I tried to do my best to find those that came highly recommended and passed muster as far as having good ingredients but weren't really terribly irritating, didn't have lots of fragrance, all that fun stuff. All right, so first is the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Wash and also the Milk Oil Conditioning Cleanser. I have tried several products from First Aid Beauty and I've been very happy with all of them, so I believe that those are probably pretty good from what I have heard and from what I saw as far as their ingredients and everything. Also, the Dove Derma Series Dry Skin Relief Gentle Cleansing Face Wash came very highly recommended. Be careful with the Dove products. Again, a lot of them have fragrance and other irritating ingredients, but that one overall seemed to be a really good choice and was very gentle from what I could tell from ingredients and the information I found out about it. Also, the Neutrogena Ultra Gentle Hydrating Cleanser came very highly recommended. Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser. I, years ago, used Cetaphil. I have tried the foaming cleanser as well from Cetaphil. And the problem that I had with the Cetaphil foaming cleanser was it was very highly fragranced and I didn't really like that. And the original Cetaphil, which comes highly recommended almost across the board, is a good cleanser, but it just didn't clean my skin enough because of my oily skin. Now, I haven't tried it in recent years, so it may be different. Also, Cetaphil, unfortunately, tests on animals, so I prefer not to buy from them. But that one comes very highly recommended, and I think that particular formulation would be really good for somebody with dry skin, from what I could tell from my personal experience with it. In addition, again, another First Aid Beauty product, the Face Cleanser Daily Treatment with First Aid Beauty Antioxidant Booster. It has antioxidants in it, which is fine, but those are going to be rinsed down the drain. Keep that in mind. But all of the First Aid Beauty cleansers, for the most part, seem to be really good and don't have lots of irritating ingredients. They are a little bit more expensive, but they're good. So if you're willing to spend a little more money on your face cleanser, they overall seem to be pretty good options. Also, the Paula's Choice Skin Recovery Cream Cleanser, if you have dry skin, is highly recommended. Also, La Roche-Posay Toleriane Purifying Foam Cleanser, that's a mouthful, and Toleriane Dermo Cleanser, both of those came highly recommended. La Roche-Posay is not cruelty-free, just keep that in mind. And La Roche-Posay is available, I think it's available in CVS and maybe at Ulta. And it's a little bit pricier for a drugstore skincare brand, but a lot of their products do come highly recommended, so they might be a good option for you. If you're willing to spend some money, the Algenist Genius Ultimate Anti-Aging Cleanser. I know I have a few issues with the idea of anti-aging, but as far as for dry or sensitive skin, that one does come highly recommended. Algenist products are a bit pricey, so just keep that in mind if you're interested in that one. And finally, the CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser comes highly recommended as well. A lot of the CeraVe products are highly recommended, and they seem to have pretty good ingredients and don't have lots of problematic ingredients, so that's good. Finally, for sensitive skin, if you specifically are looking for some products for sensitive skin, there's a lot of overlap between products for dry skin and products for sensitive skin, so keep that in mind. You might be able to interchange these somewhat. And also sometimes for oily skin. It's funny because people don't think that people with oily skin can also have sensitive skin, but I am proof positive that that is somewhat the case because I have oily skin, but I also have rosacea, so I have to be careful about the products I use. Really, I think anybody should be using products that are appropriate for sensitive skin because that typically means they don't have fragrances and known irritants, which nobody should be using, but I digress. A few that are recommended for sensitive skin are the Olay Gentle Clean Foaming Cleanser, the Fresh Soy Face Cleanser. Caveat on that one is fragrance. And this is a brand I've never heard of, and I might take a deeper look into it. It's Aquation Gentle Moisturizing Cleanser. And that one sounded really interesting. I took a look at the ingredients and I didn't see anything that sent off big alarm bells, but I am going to look a little more closely into that because if you have really sensitive skin, I think that one might be good. But I need to do some more research on it. I've never heard of that brand before either. So, and then finally the Skin Medica Sensitive Skin Cleanser. Skin Medica is a brand that's a little bit more expensive, so keep that in mind if you're interested in that. And that is pretty much it. I am hoping that these specific products help you if you are totally overwhelmed when you go out looking for your cleanser. There is so much out there. I'm amazed because when I first started getting into skincare in my late teens, back in the late 80s, basically the dark ages of skincare and makeup and everything, there just wasn't all of this available. Things have improved a lot as far as formulations and things like that, so that's wonderful. But it is overwhelming, the number of products. So I did this video because I'm hoping that for any of you out there who are really confused, who don't know where to start and what to go to first, I'm hoping that this could be a good reference for you. I will have everything that I possibly can linked down below. I'll have some research down there and links to products so you can go ahead and check those out and see if they work. I would just tell you with anything like this, any product that you're going to be putting on your skin, read the ingredients. Understand that even though they may come highly recommended, they may have good ratings from whoever, that you could be sensitive to any of the ingredients in there. There are people who are allergic to water, so you can be allergic or sensitive to pretty much anything. So just keep that in mind and pay attention to ingredients. Learn what ingredients you want to have in your skincare and which you want to avoid, and hopefully that will help with the decision-making process. I hope this was helpful. Don't have a throwback track because I didn't even think of one before I started filming. So that is going to be in the next video. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.